What is going on, FA Nation? John Pemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Preview Show. Today we're looking at the Thursday 6-game main slate. I'll be on the playbook for this 6-gamer starting at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. James, we've hit the number one starter rotation for the teams on this one here. So while we've had previous slates where we've been attacking bad pitching, this one may be a bit tougher for some because we have a lot of good pitching on this main slate here.
We do have a lot of good pitching. Definitely a solid amount, and not one of which is Ryan Yarbrough at $9,000. I don't quite understand that one, but that neither here nor there for me to decide, and I will not be. I guarantee he.
I was going to just ignore that algorithm there and just kind of move forward. He's
I will assume that you, me, and Ryan Yarbrough will all have the same ownership tomorrow.
Yeah, 0%.
0%. So yeah, fun looking slate. Some elite teams, some elite pitching, some gas cannings as well. So ready to get into things.
Yeah, so we appreciate y'all tuning in. You want to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Free way to support the work we do here on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel. We'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself and Henry Wilson to break down this 6-game main slate, give you all the latest news, lineup alerts that you guys need to be ready for your DFS contests. Joe Ryan against Oakland, Garrett Crochet against Seattle, Aaron Nola versus Boston, your top 3 starting pitchers in the 9K tier. Again, not going to talk about Ryan Yarbrough. Don't need to. As good as the 3 that we've had, and none of them over 10K.
Yeah. I would say blanket statement, the field probably doesn't get to Nola as much as they get to the other guys, sure. Just given the matchup with how well Boston's been against, right-handed pitching. Obviously, Nola's pitched amazing this year compared to last year. He's even been better in his last 10 starts.
Just shout out the Brewers who've been dynamite. So
I'm not saying I wouldn't play Nola. I'm just thinking you have Joe Ryan against Oakland, all the strikeout upside in the world, a lot of strikeouts for Joe Ryan this year. I'm assuming he's going to be really popular. And same thing for Crochet when you talk about strikeouts. I mean, nobody's more likely to strike out on a given day than Seattle. 10, 8, 11 strikeouts. I know you had played a 10 strikeout, 10 plus strikeout.
Yeah, outline.
And you messaged me and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I saw like the first 4 innings. I was like, oh, this is money in the bank. But we talked about it, I think, on the show we did. Like, this guy has been incredible for a month since middle of April, March, May.
He started off hot. He had a 3-game stretch where basically it seemed like teams had figured him out, and then he made adjustments, and he has been dominant. The only thing, and that we play DFS, so it doesn't really matter, he's never thrown more than 53 professional innings at the minor league or major league level. He's already up over 75. Yeah. So, like, at some point, he may get tired or they may decide to shut him down. If you go look at Fangraphs and look at their rest of preseason projections for him, they actually have bullpen projections for him. They think he's not going to finish the year potentially as a starter. Now, there's been trade rumors around him, but again, those are all seasonal. We're talking specifically this matchup. I would say maybe the only thing to knock against him would be win equity, because Luis Castillo is the opposite pitcher of him here, and Castillo at home against the White Sox feels like an elite matchup as well. Obviously got roughed up last time against Kansas City, but we know the type of pitcher that this guy can be, and he's always been much better at home than away. This could also be a game on a 6-game slate. Pitch them both. Like, one gets the win, they both get a bunch of strikeouts and pitch deep into the game. Right?
I saw the winning lineup in the $5 single entry tournament the other day. Was Mikolas and Paul Skeens, and they face off one another.
Yeah, so they both have perfect games through 6.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's not a thing where you just need to be like, oh, I can't use this guy because he's facing against, like, there only one can get a win. Well, that doesn't matter if Garrett Crochet has 10 strikeouts. I don't care if he doesn't have a win. He's going to get me 30 fantasy points at that
He
rate.
had 29 fantasy points in a loss against Baltimore.
Yeah,
So
it says all you need to know. I much rather play Crochet and Castillo if that's where my build takes me. If that's what I feel like is going to get me 60 fantasy points, right? Because that duo could get you 60, and you'd be like, oh well, I'm in a good position to win an entire tournament. Because you also got to think like how many other people in your tournament did that variation of pitcher.
right,
So
right.
I'm perfectly fine getting to Crochet and pairing him with Castillo if you want, because this could be a 1-0 game by night's end.
Agreed. The only other two pitches for me that I have interest in here are in that mid range. Severino and Brandon Pfaadt for me. Severino at home against Miami and Brandon Pfaadt at home against the Angels. Miami and LA, two of the worst teams against right-handed pitching in baseball. Brandon Pfaadt for a while had some pretty good peripheral numbers, kind of suggesting that maybe he would turn it around. And then the baseball gods fed him on the road against the Dodgers, on the road against the Rangers, on the road against the Mets, on the road against the Padres. Not a favorable scheduling, and he did not pitch well in most of those outings. This is a much favorable spot for him at home against the Angels here. So while many may look to fade, I actually think there's some merit to playing Brandon Pfaadt here.
He will definitely be fighting for our money here, John.
Okay.
He did not fight very well in his last 3 starts. But yeah, I'm with you against right-handed pitching. The Angels have been terrible all year. And Severino, to your point, they don't really move his price. I mean, he was $500 more and then gave us 24 fantasy points. And they're like, you know what we should do a week later in his next start? We should lower his price because he didn't go 8 innings and give us 24 fantasy points at all. He's looked rejuvenated and probably will be dealt to a contender by the deadline. So
where he'll melt down,
where there's a chance. There's definitely a chance. So yeah, I would say those two are probably where I draw the line as well, because you're not going Lorenzen against the Dodgers as kind of solid as Lorenzen's been outside of that San Francisco start.
Yeah,
it's just really tough to want to actively use someone against the Dodgers.
Right.
Roderick Munoz is bad and gives up a lot of home runs. He's given up 8 home runs in 4 starts so far.
Yeah, they called him up to like make this start basically.
He was like he started there, like he has a lot of options, so they're just like now they're just like using another player.
There were some reports that Max Meyer might have been the one to get called up for this,
Dude,
and they decided to keep him down at AAA and make continue to use him in 4 inning stints down at AAA.
Max Meyer. It's just unbelievable. You want to see like how you like handle someone coming off Tommy John? Go look at what Luis Gil is doing this year, and then go look at like how the Yankees are managing and actively telling us like we're not putting a limit on him, because I think it helped. Like you're building your arm strength after a major surgery. Like you're babying someone who might just end up having Tommy John anyway again, because that's what happens to major league pitchers. So
Garrett Crochet had Tommy John surgery in 2022. Look at him now, right? Like he's
ridiculous, dude.
Looking great. So anyways, they got Roderick Munoz coming back up. Like you said, he's going back and forth here. He's been atrocious. More reasons to like the Mets. We're not going to do Medina against Minnesota. Griffin Canning's been a punching bag for us for most of this year. I know the last couple of starts for him have been a little bit better, but I don't trust Griffin Canning. On a small slate at 5K, maybe you give him a look, but not for me. I did want to go quickly back to the Brandon Pfaadt because I was talking about his underlying numbers. Most things are still very real, even with the recent tough stretch. 4.6 ERA, his expected ERA 3.04, his FIPS 3.5, his exits 3.6, 1.7 walks per 9, 8.7 K per 9. I mean, just pretty elite numbers overall. He just is getting some really tough matchups. So for Pfaadt at 74, if I'm not double stacking, I think that might be my value SP2 on this one.
Agreed.
Catcher, again, we look for the value here. We're pretty in on Trevino on the Wednesday show. He homered. We are looking for cheap value plays on this slate, generally where we go to plug in for our lineup. So when these lineups come out, again, 5 p.m. show. We'll have our catcher plays, quickly, I guess. Like, again, Moreno could be an option. Alvarez, if he's in the lineup. Alvarez had hit righties better than lefties last year. So
yes, he did.
you do have potentially that if he's back in that lineup, but we'll know catcher a little bit later on.
Yep.
First base, where are you looking to go?
Definitely the Dodgers guys against Lorenzen. I'm not using Tanner Houck, but also acknowledging how good he's been. So also probably not interested in Philly unless I'm multi-entering, just to be contrarian. Definitely some Christian Walker home run appeal. I know he's struggling, and I know this isn't the right split for him, but he always has a ceiling with home runs.
Yeah.
Same thing can be said, I think, for Pete Alonso in regards to just Munoz and the power that he's allowed. When you want to talk about power in the Mets, like there's nobody better than Pete Alonso, right? So Alonso at 51, I think is a little bit interesting. Then you start dipping your toes into like the Twins again. Carlos Santana is great, except the day where they score 5 runs, he goes over 3. I'm not going to say that I played him on that day, but I'm also not going to say I played him on that day. Not going to comment on either of those situations, but he's been great outside of that one day where everyone played Twins. He's been amazing. So I like Santana, like Dodgers, Alonso, Santana from like top to like the 4K tier.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you wanted to take a dart on Gavin Sheets, we know Luis Castillo does give up home runs still.
Yep.
There's certainly that potential for him with the lefty bat there, but I don't really have much else at first. I guess Ezekiel Duran. If Yarbrough is out there and Duran is starting again at $2,600 versus a lefty, we played him the other day. He didn't homer off the lefty, but he homered. So I know Seager was back in the lineup, so we'll see how that changes some things around for them. Maybe they sit Nathaniel Lowe here. Something to look for. Second base, Semien up at the top, Ketel Marte, Willie Castro's 4,200. Again, smaller slate, so the player pool not spectacular here.
Yeah, Semien's been great against lefties if Yarborough is actually starting. Do we have is that confirmed? Let's look at
So I think if he might open and pitch like 2 innings, right? Like
probable. I'm looking on Fangraphs probable grid to see if we get they have Yarborough pegged to start, so we'll see. If he's starting, then he's starting, and salute to Ryan Yarborough. Good luck.
Right.
But I do think Semien has been great against lefties, so you could definitely go there. Ketel Marte has been great in general. So I mean, he had 15 fantasy points the other day in a game that he didn't have a hit. So it just goes to show you what he can provide. Rengifo, obviously wrong end of his split. Can't really get there. I guess Blaze Alexander could kind of be interesting for Arizona. They announced today that they're basically going a different direction at third than Eugenio Suarez.
They realize can't play baseball anymore.
Yeah, he's forgotten how to play baseball since he lost left Great American. So if Alexander's starting, I think that's fine. But that's like it. I guess there's a couple punts actually. Gavin Lux has been much better.
Gavin Lux, yeah,
he's been much better, and I don't think Otto Lopez leads off here, but another day, Otto Lopez on Wednesday, double RBI or double and a run scored for Otto Lopez leading off.
Yeah,
he's up against Sevy. It's a righty. I don't think he leads off again. But just
I like the Gavin Lux call. Obviously, they acquired Kevin Biggio. Maybe put a little pressure on him there. Third base, your boy, Royce Lewis.
Dude.
Homer again.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, they put his like 162 game pace on the screen. It was like 40, 150. Like, dude, please
forgot to set my lineup in FSGA this week, so he's on my bench.
That is so sad for you.
It hurts. It's
so sad for you. I'm so sorry for you.
But I preset my lineup for next week, so I won't forget. He's in there. So onward and upward.
At least next week you'll be fine.
He's gonna hit 4 more home runs next week, so doesn't really matter, right?
That's fair.
6K, absolutely an elite play. And again, honestly, at that point, I mean, I'm not gonna go Bohm. Don't really want to go Devers. You talked Rengifo already. Josh Smith we'll at least have lefty for a little bit. So I don't even know if he'll be in the lineup to start that game. I'm not going to go Toro versus Ryan. Vientos versus right. I mean, maybe you just play Vientos because Munoz is just giving up bombs and you assume Vientos will be out there.
Yeah.
Is there only one third baseman on this slate to play? Like, a legitimate question. Duran, I guess, has third base eligibility. You tell me, man. Like, what other third baseman other than Royce Lewis do you find appealing here?
So definitely Lewis. I'm always interested in Devers against a righty. I know it's a tough. I'm not saying it's not a tough spot, but like Aaron Nola, good, very good this year. 11 home runs allowed. There's always a chance Devers is a one-off play, right? For a home run. So I'm good with Devers. Toro's been pretty average. He leads off, which is super strange. Vientos for sure. I think if you're stacking Twins, Miranda hit 4th on Wednesday. He's also been a little bit better lately.
This was a guy that hit a lot of power in the minors, but it really hasn't translated to the major league level.
No, it has not. But if you're gonna bat him 4th, I do think that is at least a little bit interesting.
Sure.
I don't. You mentioned the Ezekiel Duran, like you could play him here.
They hit him 6 the other day with a lefty on the mound. So, like, if that ends up being the case,
right,
I can see it there. And like you're mentioning, fine plays. Obviously, they're just nothing on a smaller slate. It's kind of what the hand we're dealt. Shortstop has Betts and Seager up at the top, pretty good there. Lindor homered again today off a righty, no less. So you got him at $4,700 there. Correa, fine.
Correa's he is raking right now. He had his first career 5-hit game on Wednesday. He's been really, really good.
Where'd his power go? Did he just lose his knees, so he just doesn't have to drive anymore?
I don't know. He's like not old. Like he's still like in like what would be considered his prime, and he's just like not homering.
He's supposed to be a 30 homer hitter. Now he's like a 20 homer hitter.
Maybe 20. He has 5 right now. I don't know if 20's I don't know if 20's even in the cards for him right now.
True. De Jong obviously has power. Yep. David Hamilton, I mean, I don't know. You tell me, is this guy going to win Rookie of the Year? I'm dead serious. Is he going to win Rookie of the Year? I have no idea.
I mean, there's a chance.
The way he's playing, right? I mean, he might steal 30. He homered again tonight.
Yep. No, I'm not sitting here disagreeing. I just am laughing. I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Yeah, I know. I'm like crying, laughing as a Red Sox fan. This is where our life is at. But like, I don't know.
This is supposed to be Trevor's story.
Trevor's story, yeah, or like Vaughn Grissom or something. Marcelo Mayer soon. Like, and David Hamilton's out here just being like, "Nah, man, I'm good. Can't play defense. Cannot play a lick of defense. This man does not know how to field." Okay. But he can handle a bat and steal a bag. So $3,400 for him is fine. I'll never forget the month we had Elvis Andrews 3 years ago. That was great.
That was a great.
Wasn't that?
If you remember, that was the White Sox.
If you know the White Sox Elvis.
The White Sox Elvis Andrews was crazy, dude.
Geraldo Perdomo is back for them.
He's fine. Wrap around piece, right? He'll hit 9th and All-Star last year.
All right. Outfield
we go.
Ohtani, obviously.
Damn it. Where's like Judge and Soto when you need them,
Stand at homer tonight for your Yanks.
So did Gleyber Torres.
And,
Trevino. All the usual suspects. Trevino, Gleyber, and Stanton.
They gave Luis Robert the day off on Wednesday so he could have his strength to face Castillo probably. So he's 5K.
Yep.
Pilar keeps hitting, but I do like Brandon Pfaadt. All roads lead back to Corbin Carroll at $4,500 against Griffin Canning.
Yes, they do.
Starling Marte homered today.
He did. Starling Marte is really good at baseball right now. Dude, another guy that has had a long catalog of injuries, right? And has always been really good offensively, just can't stay healthy. To your Corby point.
Yep.
Lefties against Griffin Canning, 301 average, 930 OPS. So we're just putting all blanket statement like Corbin, Carroll, Jock Peterson. Where's Jock Peterson? His price is probably around Corby,
Yeah,
right?
right there,
45.
4,400,
Jock's
100 bucks
44.
cheaper.
Both those guys, I think, are quite elite
And
plays.
Carroll led off the game tonight with another hit. So like, I think he's back.
Yeah, we're getting prime.
Insert Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I'm thinking of back
Yeah,
gift here.
yeah, true.
Because I mean, dude, I said it on the show. We've said it on the show a few times now. He's a $5,500 player, not a $4,500 player. So
correct.
Play him now, because before DraftKings figures it out, he's going to be back up over 5K. So take advantage of the value there. Really, Castro's fine, even though he's better against lefties and righties. I don't think much of Medina there. Twins bats outfield here against Medina as well. McCarthy, as you mentioned, blanket saving lefties versus Canning at 4K.
Yep.
What else do we like down here?
Dude, Medina's numbers are really good this year. Are they not? How many? What's the sample here? He only pitched 2 games. Okay.
He had one good game, one very bad game.
I was just looking at his numbers again. Like nobody, like 690 OPS for righties and lefties. I'm like, what am I looking at here? Why is
he shut down Atlanta, as everybody has in the month of June, and Toronto lit him up. So
yeah, 6 xFIP. I mean, things are not looking good.
Yeah, 5 walks and then 4 2/3 not going to do you much.
No.
So willing to bet against that.
Yeah. Other than the guys we've talked about, let's see, what do we got?
Bader homer today, of course.
Bader, yep, he sure did. Wyatt Langford, 3,500, gets a lefty to start at least.
Mm-hmm.
Haniger, if you're not a believer of Crochet, which I don't know why you wouldn't be, but you can play him.
You got Yoshida and Hayward at 3K. I mean, again,
Yeah.
Yoshida versus Nola is not a good matchup, but it's cheap.
You think they play Grishik, or like Grishik DH maybe here? Grishik's been really, really good.
Yeah.
I know he's been like more specific against lefties, but he broke the slate the other day. He's had a couple slate breakers recently. If you want to just keep piling on with
Rangers hit Grossman second the other day versus a lefty.
That's gross, man.
I know, but he had 2 hits.
If
he's hitting second again, you'd have to give him a look at.
If he's hitting second, yeah, because then you just play your Semien, Grossman, Seager stack, right? And you're feeling. But also, Seager usually hits second. So
yeah, he probably doesn't hit second with Seager back. I guess that's true. All right, let's get a lineup build going on here. Did we want the game stack Seattle Chicago? Did we want Fott as a?
Yeah, I think the Seattle stuff plays.
Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, Crochet, Castillo. Okay. Because also, like, Arizona is probably the direction we're gonna go. They're not like overly expensive. Like Jock Peterson, Corbin Carroll, 45, 44.
Well, 5 pitches for them, so not against them.
No, I know. I'm saying I like the matchup for them.
Oh, okay.
Against Griffin Canning.
Got it. But we're not using Brandon Fott. We're using
correct. Correct. I like if we need to get to Fott, we can. But I think it's not going to be. Oh,
we used too much money. I've used too much.
Oh, money. you messed it all up. But we
used too much money already. All right.
Vientos at third. He was like literally the only third baseman we liked.
I thought we were using Royce Lewis.
Oh shoot, we definitely can't do this. Crochet play then.
Let's do Fott.
Yeah.
Let's a little bit more. So do that. Let's do Gavin Lux.
More reasonable.
Yeah.
You play Geraldo, another lefty, $3,200.
4,600 outfielder.
What do we have? We have Santana, Royce.
We got a Meadow out here. We're Starling Marte. There he is.
Yep.
That play?
Yep.
All right. Example lineup: Crochet, Font, Alvarez, Santana, Lux, Lewis, Perdomo, Carroll, Peterson, Marte. Example lineup for everybody. $300 left over. Again, we'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern time to get you all ready for this 6-game main slate on Friday. Until then, everybody, good luck, and we'll talk to you later.